Hi, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm having a great day, and today I've decided that I'm going to do old school Guyanese cooking. I'm going to do rice with chicken curry or curry chicken, whichever way you call it. So let's go. So first thing we're going to do is we'll start with the rice, because this is pretty easy. The rice, it's about 1.5 cups we have there. It was already washed, ready to go. Okay, so that's done. So now we'll put a stove on. We're going to start with the chicken curry. So now we're going to start with the curry. We have some potatoes. I like potatoes in my curry. And from our garden we have some hot pepper, basil, and tomatoes. We have some cilantro, onion, tomato paste, garlic. And here we have like a teaspoon of salt. You can put to your taste. We have some ginger powder, garam masala, curry powder. These are 1 tablespoon each. This one too is 1 tablespoon. Here we have 1/2 tablespoon of cumin, turmeric, and thyme. So that's what we're going to use for the curry. So I'm going to start first by putting in the onions to cook. So now we're going to add the other stuff, all of the masala, the curry powder. I'm just going to throw them in. And the tomato paste. I don't do it too fussy and fancy. I just put it in. Just going to add a little bit of water for it to cook. So we'll let this just cook a little bit for now, and then I'll continue. You know, cooking chicken curry brings back a lot of memories growing up in Guyana. Chicken was like, in my time, was like a Sunday dish. And you know, to cook chicken, you go and you catch one in the yard and you kill it, you pluck it, and you cut it up. I think I'm just gonna add the chicken now. gonna put my salt in too. So I'm just gonna let this here for a while here. You know, growing up in Guyana, chicken was the Sunday meal. And I used to have a lot of chickens. I used to grow chickens. Growing up, I was a little small entrepreneur. I always tried something. And one of the things I used to do was try to have different breeds of chicken in the yard. So I used to buy chickens from different people, peel neck, white one, brindle color. Any chicken that I find that I didn't have in my yard, and I would try to buy one and introduce it to the yard. Now, saying that brings back a memory that I'm not very pleasant with, but I will say there was a cane cutter strike, a very long one, very long. And my best friend, who is Gobin, or should I say my little brother Gobin, his father and his brother were on strike. So money didn't come by easily for them. Now, they had some chickens in the yard that, you know, that were small. They couldn't afford to feed them very much. So I went and I made an offer to his mom to buy some of the chickens. So I ended up buying a few chickens from my friend's mom, Auntie Irene. And I bought them for cheap because they were little skinny little things. And I took them home and introduced them to my yard. And it always bothered me. It always bothered me because I felt like I took advantage of Auntie Irene. And Auntie Irene is Gobin's mother. She was like my mom. I grew up respecting her like my mother. I loved her like my mother. Now, they took the money and they buy what they had to buy with the money, and then after the strike was over, I grew these chickens now. These chickens became big and they became fat and and I actually sold one back to her, which made me feel really bad until this day. Now, I felt like I took advantage of the situation. A few weeks ago, Gobin called me and I was talking about this story with him. And then he told me, and to my surprise, he told me he remembered that story. He knows about that. I go, really? He goes, yes. I go, Gobin, you know, I'm very uncomfortable with this. He said, I will tell you the other side of the story. His mom was so very happy and appreciated that I bought the chickens from them. So they took that money and bought some flour and things they needed to cook. They didn't have any money at that time. And that money, they took it and they bought some groceries. And she really, really appreciated that. Now that makes me feel a lot better because I carried that thing on from since I must have been what, 12 years old, 13 years old, somewhere like that, until now I'm 61 years old. And finally, I get to understand that I actually did them a big favor rather than taking advantage of the situation. Now to end that, I still feel bad, but it makes me feel better that at least I helped them during the hard times. this is done. So now, you see, I'm hitting the spoon on the pot. Okay, maybe some people don't like that, but yeah, you know, my mom used to do that, so the habit is in me to do that also. So please forgive me if I irritate some of you with that. I think now I'm gonna add my potatoes, and I'm gonna add my tomatoes. And at the same time, I'm gonna add some water, and then we're gonna let it cook. So that's it for now. We're just gonna let this cook down. This looks done. The potato is done. It smells wonderful. And so, that's my episode for curry chicken or chicken curry and rice. I thank you for going down memory lane with me, and I hope this episode brings back some good memories for you wherever you are in this world. And I thank you again for subscribing to my channel, liking, sharing, and supporting me. I thank you again, and you have a wonderful day.